welcome to Mind Grow Radio. I'm your host, Stephanie Kathan, bringing you meaningful conversations that will grow your mind. And today on the show, we're talking mindset, mentors, and money. I'm going to be sitting down for a candid conversation with writer, producer, speaker, and entrepreneur extraordinaire Lisa Steadman to talk about the mindset necessary to access your next level you. Lisa also shares why she feels mentoring is so important and the difference it's made in her life, and how letting go of the limiting belief that she was not enough helped her make more money in her business and made it possible for her to elevate her own life while helping others. And before we get started in that conversation, I just want to tell you a little bit about today's guest. Lisa is a best-selling author, internationally acclaimed speaker, relationship expert, serial entrepreneur, and highly sought-after voice for women who are ready to redefine what having it all looks like. And I don't know about you, but I am totally ready for that. Her best-selling books include her runaway hit, It's a Breakup, Not a Breakdown, to her hilarious and heartfelt confessions of an imposter mom. Audiences around the globe rave about Lisa's refreshing and real-world take on navigating life with humor, heart, and hustle. Her creative charisma makes her an in-demand talent in the entertainment industry, both on camera as a host and behind the scenes as a consultant, writer, producer. And it's my honor to have her here with us today. So please help me welcome the oh-so-fabulous Lisa Steadman.
Thank you. What an introduction.
I love mind-growing conversations with you. I got to tell you, listeners, Lisa is one of my favorite. I shouldn't have favorites, but she's one of my favorite mind growers because she's played such a big, huge part in my own personal growth. And we're going to dive into mindset, mentors, and money because I know that this is a thing that a lot of people struggle with, including myself. So, Lisa, when you started this journey, your life always didn't look the way that it looks right now. What was the mindset that you had to create so that you were able to experience the next level you, and what were some of the steps that you took to get into that mindset and create that shift?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're right. I didn't start where I am today, and even where I am today is such a work in progress. So I'm always striving for more and better, not from a space of I don't have enough. I've learned to shift that into, wow, look at all I have. I'm so thankful, and I would like some more. But where I began was really in a belief that I had to struggle and strain, that life was challenging, that I couldn't have everything I wanted, that if I got what I wanted in one area, I had to give it up in another area. That came from upbringing. That came from being raised by people who believed that you collected a paycheck every 2 weeks and you followed the straight and narrow predictable path, and that would lead you to a pension and retirement, and maybe then you could think about having a life. And that just never worked for me, and I needed to blaze my own trail, but it certainly didn't come easily. Shifting my mindset is a daily process. It's something that I am mindful of on a daily basis of like, okay, what are the limits that are showing up today? Because they show up, it's real. And some days, they're not there, but most days they are. So it's not about waiting for the absence of them to move and groove, but it's really about getting clear what's showing up today that may need to shift.
I love what you're saying about it's still a practice for you. It's still an ongoing thing that you've made into a practice in your everyday life. And I know so many coaches are like, oh, you can just shift your mindset and then you're done with it. And it really is not like that. And that's that you've helped me discover is that it's practice. It's everyday work, and we have to do that to show up for ourselves.
Yeah,
so that we can.
I laugh because if only it were that easy. Like, oh, mastered that, like really? So there are certain things that you will master once and be done with, but for the rest of us mere mortals, we are in evolution, and depending on the moment, we are either mastering something, or we're back at the bottom feeling like Sisyphus rolling that rock up the hill again.
So good and so true. So for those who are listening who might just be starting out in business or understand that they have some mindset work to do and maybe feeling overwhelmed, like, I'm never going to get there. Do you have any advice for those folks?
Well, first of all, you're already there. That's the good news. And so you're already there, meaning that you have everything you need within you to create whatever those deep desires are, because those deep desires weren't implanted into you to make you crazy and torture you. Anything that you can, there's that saying, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So anything that is divinely downloaded into you, as in I'm going to write this book or lead this mission or movement or get on TV or change the world or, whatever that voice is, you're not crazy or bad or weird or wrong for having the voice, number one, and you're really not crazy, bad, weird, or wrong for listening to it. What happens is sometimes we doubt the voice and we don't take action. And so whatever and Stephanie, you and I have talked about this, dream plus do makes the dreams come true. I didn't write 5 best-selling books by sitting there and talking about it and thinking about it. I did that for a long time, and then I had to shut the F up and actually go write the books. So part of this is if you have the dream, you can do it. It does take dreaming and doing.
That is so true, which is a great segue to the next question I have, which is about mentors. I know for me, having you as a mentor really helped me to be able to get clarity and figure out what my personas was and what I wanted to bring forth with my authentic voice in my business. And why do you feel mentoring is so important, and what difference has it made in your life?
It's made all the difference in the world. I mean, first of all, why do we need mentors? Because we got to get out of our own way. And we are, our subconscious is really comfortable with life as it is. So if you're saying you want to change something, the biggest demon in your path is you and the subconscious not wanting to shift because it's easier to stay where it is. It's about weight loss. This is about finding love. This is about building a business. It's all the same. So why are mentors important? Because mentors may have done what you aspire to do. They know the path. They know the obstacles. They can help you navigate that path and overcome those obstacles. They can help you anticipate where you're going to get set back and help you continue to leap forward. For me, I have been blessed with so many amazing mentors in my life. And I want to be clear, mentors are different than coaches. I've hired coaches, and they haven't all blessed my life. Well, I guess they have, some just more positively than others. But when I think about the mentors in my life, a lot of them were people who just showed up with divine timing, and it wasn't even about, like I'm thinking about the producers I've worked with who have grown, as you say, mind-growing conversations. Being with them and being in their orbit and co-creating with them was mind-growing for me to see this is what they do for a living, and I get to be a witness and a participant, and I'm learning and growing so much from that experience. And wow, now I can pick up the phone and call them if I have a question. And just when I think I don't have an answer, I just ask the universe, show me who's going to show up. And that's who shows up. And it happens miraculously and magically, and yet it's neither of those. It's both and neither. It just is exactly what I've asked for and allowed to come in.
That's so powerful. And sometimes, depending on what you're resonating with, it will be different people, right? Because we're always learning. We're always learning from what we're observing and what we're tuning into. And I was so happy when you started coming back into my awareness and I became aware of what you were doing and started tuning back into you, because I could immediately feel the shift within myself. And one of the great things that I love about working with a mentor is having somebody who is invested in you and in your success, because they want to help you and help you grow, but also they understand the meltdowns. Like, we all have meltdowns. I just had one with Lisa last week. We have them.
And it was beautiful. It was fucking deep, excuse my French, and beautiful. And I was honored to be there.
I swear, I just think we all need that. So listeners, if you don't yet have a mentor, if you don't really understand what mentors can do for you, just set the intention and put it out there and see who starts coming into your awareness. And also, I highly recommend you check out Lisa's group, It Factor for Entrepreneurs. She mentors people in business over there. She's a rockin' business coach, and it's all free. She does all of this meaningful mentorship, and you can just tune into it in her group. She's freaking amazing.
Thank you.
One of the things that happens, at least it happens for me, and I believe it's happened for you, and I would like to go deeper into it, is when we get our mindset straight, when we start learning strategies and tips and tools from mentors, something happens with the money piece.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. They all go together, and people think they're all different, mindset, mentors, and money, but they really are intertwined. I found this for myself.
So intertwined.
So when you let go of that limiting belief, such as you weren't enough, when you were first coming out and you were first writing your book and dealing with your breakup and sharing your story and dealing with those moments of fear and feeling like you weren't enough. You talked about it on your Facebook Live this morning about charisma and competition, and we always have that fear of somebody else is better than us and we're not good enough. When you let go of that limiting belief, how did your money story change? How did your business change?
Ooh, it's pretty extraordinary how it changes. When you start out in business for yourself, it's all passion, it's all heart. And then you realize, oh my God, I have to ask for money. And that is just scary and daunting. And if you don't have a lot of self-worth, it's terrifying, and it can really shut you down. So, how does it change? It changes everything. It's an evolution. I wish it was one size fits all, but it's an evolution. And my message in this moment for everybody is, whatever it is you desire monetarily, you can have. The only block is your willingness to receive it. And that's the good news and the bad news, right? Because it's not outside you, it's within you, which means you can be the answer to the problem, but it also means that you get to be the answer, and that can be challenging. So what I see for myself, and I think it's probably easier to speak to it from what I see for my clients, when a client no longer fears asking for the money because they realize they're not actually asking for the money, they're creating an opportunity to support and serve a client, that changes everything. That changes, so it's no longer I only attract clients when I do a free teleseminar or put an email out to my list. This becomes people start magnetizing clients and opportunities and money wherever they go because they feel so free to be themselves. And that's the breakthrough. That's the breakthrough.
That is so powerful. And what I found with my money story is when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling depleted in other areas of my life, it shows up in my money. It shows
Ooh,
up,
yes, it does.
Yeah, and it's so powerful because we're taught as we're growing up, through years of school and then college if you go there, whatever, we're taught this system about money. And we're taught that it's totally, it depends on how many hours you work and if you can find a good job that pays you well. And I'm calling BS on all of that because what I've learned is so different. And you can go from feeling like you don't have enough and total despair, and a shift in your perception makes it possible for you to attract an opportunity or attract that person that you're going to run into that maybe becomes a client, or all sorts of doors start to open up. But you have to get out of your own way first. You're like blocking the doorway, and that's what I was doing when I had my meltdown with Lisa. I was blocking my own doorway. I couldn't get through. I couldn't get out of my own shadow long enough. It was just so big and daunting to me and scary looking.
I appreciate that you said that, because what this is really about, what you're speaking to, is the willingness to meet the next level you that is beyond this fear. And this is something, I've done this many times. This was who I needed to become when I wanted to meet the love of my life versus have another crappy relationship. This is who I needed to become when I wanted to release weight after having struggled with weight my entire life. This is who I needed to become every single time I've said I want an income up level. It's who am I going to become on the other side of this fear? Who is it possible for me to be if I change my behavior and I change my story? And I love this process of meeting the new me, and I love the process of meeting the new you for everyone listening who is on this journey.
And it's really there's always a new level, isn't there? I mean, once we go to this next level, there's always something else. We just want more. And that's just a part of life that now I've come to accept, which before I used to push against it. But we always want more.
Yeah, and it's foolish to think, I'm going to be done. When? When is it done? Like, really? Why? I don't want to ever stop growing my knowledge or becoming a better version of myself. I can't imagine that I will ever go, yeah, I've got everything I want and need, and I'm exactly who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Really? Well, I guarantee you a surprise is about to hit, because that's not real.
So good. This is really juicy stuff.
It is.
And powerful because, like you said at the beginning of the show, we have everything that we need inside of us already to access any piece of us that we want when we want to connect with our higher self or learn a new skill or start a new career. We have everything within us. But it really helps when you have a mentor to guide you along the process, to help you with those mindset shifts, and to help you become accountable for your own money story. And I think those things come together so powerfully, because I'm finding it's something, even with my energy clients, it's a thing that I notice over and over and over again. It's a story we're conditioned to tell. And so I'm inviting all of my listeners to start telling a new story, start creating a new mindset, go out and get a mentor and attract more money and more of what you want into your life. And Lisa, could you possibly share some tips from your own personal growth toolbox that you use, or processes or whatever, to help the listeners get a hands-on piece of what they can start doing right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love this. So, I mean, the first thing, and I hope this doesn't sound too woo-woo, but if it does, oh well. The first thing is to give voice, and I mean voice. So say it out loud. Give voice to what you desire. So, For example, if you are in a space where you need some money now, that need is probably keeping it out of reach because the need is very scarce, scarcity feeling. And so the need is, oh my God, I don't want ... I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to not pay my bill. I don't want my bank account to look like this. And that's just going to perpetuate because I saw this great meditation or this great video with Neil Donald Walsh on YouTube, and he said, God has one answer for everything, yes. And so if you say, I'm in lack and scarcity, God is going to say, yes, you are. So the first thing is to say, what is it that I want? Oh, I want more money than I need. And if I need, let's say, $2,000, I want $3,000. That way I know that whatever the $2,000 is for, that's handled and I have breathing room. So I want, let's say, $3,000. Instead of walking around going, how am I ever going to get $3,000 and being in despair about it, what if you walked around your house and in the shower and when you're out in the world and you were like, $3,000 or better, $3,000 or better, $3,000 or better, and you started meditating out loud on that and feeling how fabulous it feels to receive $3,000. Oh my God, $3,000 or better. Wow, $3,000 or better. Thank you, $3,000 or better. You stay in this energy of magnetism and it will come to you. It is a practice. And, you know, that's for money. I did it when I wanted love. I said, you know, I woke up one day and realized that I had really negative beliefs about what was possible for me when it came to love. And so I said, okay, well, what are the beliefs I have? Oh, love is unavailable. Oh, love is struggle. Love is frustrating. I have to chase love. Love doesn't want me. I got to convince love. And it was very just awful. Like, who wanted to have a love life like that? And so I woke up every day and said, ooh, love wants me too. Love is available. Love is abundant. Love is magnetizing. Love makes me a better human being. Love is delicious. Love is delightful. And some days I couldn't think of anything, and so I just do the Bible quote, love is patient, love is kind. And within 60 days of doing that, I met my husband, and he was everything that I had been defining during those 60 days. He was more than I had ever received in love because I had changed what I thought I believed about love.
That is so powerful, and what a great example of what is possible. And it doesn't have to be just money. And I love how you focused on the feelings. You know, love is patient and love is kind. Love is all of those wonderful feelings that you weren't like, love is buying me a brand new house and a new car and
no, because that doesn't mean you're happy. That, you know, connect to the feeling. $3,000 will only make you as happy as you connect to the feeling it will. Love will only make you as happy as you connect to the feeling it will. I had been in love many times and been very unhappy because the love didn't fulfill me because I was with the wrong person and I wasn't healthy myself. So my definition of what love is started within me, and then I was able to see in another human being that may not have looked like I expected him to look. My husband is 5 years younger, but at the time looked 10 years younger. I was like, I'm done with the younger boys. But because I had said this is what love looks and feels like, when I met him, I recognized him.
Ooh, that is so good.
Yeah.
Wow. So where can people go to learn more about you if they want to tune into you and see what you've got going on?
Oh, gosh. Well, they can always find me at my website, lisastedman.com. They can always connect with me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm at Lisa Steadman. I recommend if you're in business, be very easy to find. Yeah.
And one of the things I love about Lisa,
hear from people.
That's what I was going to say. You are so approachable. There are so many people who are out there in the business world, coaches and all of that, who, you know, have great stuff, but they're not approachable. You cannot have a conversation with them. unless you pay them $1 gazillion. And one of the things about Lisa is that she's very hands-on. In her group, It Factor for Entrepreneurs, she's there. She's present. She's answering questions. She's doing Facebook Live. She's giving people a chance to engage. So I highly recommend you go over to her group and check her out and tune into her wisdom because she's a rock star. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today. Our time went by so fast, but it always does when I'm talking to you. So I appreciate you being here.
Oh, my gosh. This was such a pleasure, Stephanie. Thank you so much. And I love this series. I love who you bring on, and I love how you're showing up in the world.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. I appreciate that. And I just, it's about, for me, doing what I love to do. And I love talking to interesting people. So the universe has just created tons of platforms for me to be able to do that. And one of them is here at Mind Grow Radio. So thank you, listeners. Thank you, Lisa. Go check her out at lisastedman.com. Go check out her group on Facebook, It Factor for Entrepreneurs, and you'll see me over there too, by the way, because I am a member of her tribe and I love it. You've been here on Mind Grow Radio. I'm your host, Stephanie Kathan. Today's show has been brought to you by our friends over at Vibration Station Energy Enhancing Coloring Book for Grown-Ups. So after the show, head over to facebook.com/color away stress. Grab your copy, activate your inner artist, go check out Lisa, and I will see you next time for more meaningful conversations that grow your mind. Bye-bye, everybody.